Hello everybody, they call me Muse. We're still in The Last Hero of Nostalgaia. We're still in the Warlock's Wilds. But that's not a bad thing, because there's still more to see around here. So let's soldier on and take a look at what all that stuff is, shall we? Like that bun, for example. They won't mess with us again. Now, what have we got over here? Bunch of skellings. We don't want all of them at once, but we might have a choice. We've got the attention of two of them, maybe? Let's see. There we go. Dispatched without too much effort. Took a hit that we could have possibly avoided, but there we go. Now, this log. I feel like things are connecting up gradually. Did we come down from up above and into that log to go around our little roundabout route? Maybe. There's an item over there we've not grabbed. How would one go about snatching that? Definitely remember coming down this ramp and taking a right and going through that staging area to get to places. Now, are you the skeleton sword lad near the start? Did not successfully rebuff that attack. And let's see. Yeah, we probably shouldn't worry about rebuff against that lad because he's tough. Also, we've got a lemonade stand. Remember sword. I mean, we could try it. Aha. It's not a sword, it's a dagger. But we shall remember it nonetheless. So it's got recursion damage. Incisor from a giant acidic lava. Useful for peeling and juicing. So there have been tales of the one called Hoover absorbing everything around him, sucking in perspectives so that he might empathise more deeply. Kirby reference? My wielder had surrendered to his pride and was abusing Nostalgaia for his own satisfaction. When Hoover confronted him, compassion could not be evoked, so Hoover reluctantly killed him. Hoover's hand shook when he picked me up, agony concealed behind his rosy pink facade. All he'd wanted to do was remove pain. Wait a minute. Thereafter, Hoover retreated from conflict, committing himself completely to the alleviation of the burdened. One attempt to dismantle the incomparable agony of the tortured world was to offer passers-by a refreshingly tart beverage to suck on. Another was to absorb billowing pixels of forgetting within a cliffside grotto. The latter transformed him into the reservoir of pain. I see. Well, I mean, I don't see as such, but it clears up some things, possibly. But are we back near the very start? Feel like we're fairly close to the start. Because we didn't come along this path last time as such. So maybe we've just did a big old circle, and this area isn't actually much longer than what we've already seen of it. Alright, steady on. Look, are you just gonna die? Thank you. Now, let's have a look about. Are there more bits we can venture off the path, or are we just going to get swallowed up by the debuffs? I mean, someone's trying to hit us with recursion damage, probably. Maybe degradation. Still not. Well, yeah, recursion's the poison one, isn't it? And degradation's the bleed one. I remember now. And I think that was the degradation icon. But I'm not 100% on that. Right, so we're back here. Yeah. We're back here where we went up that way, I think, a little tower. And that allowed us to then press on. Because it was just around here where we dropped off to get to the golf course. But then we didn't press on up the hill. So up the hill is new stuff, I think. So yeah, taking a right here, this was a way that we've not fully explored to date. Okay, you're just running off. Can live with that. For now. Yeah, it's reservoir again. What do you want, Hoover?
Something amazing has spawned. No, not you, silly. Though you sure are swell. When your cycle started, an innocent, uncorrupted NPC also appeared. That hasn't happened for ages. Hey, I have a fun idea. How about you find them and bring them a little gift from me? An innocent wouldn't be able to stay innocent long in this messed up world.
Right, that sounds very sus. All told, let's have a look. The reservoir's gift. A singularly still silver box that seems to absorb sound. So he wants us to give that to the innocent. So that feels like the last thing that we want to do. All told. Nothing else of merit here.
What so many cycles had crumbled, might it yet be restored? Dare the narrator hope?
Are we leaving the wilds at last? We are. The keep of the stolen crown. Vengeance?
A good king once held power here. Back when our story made sense, an impostor would shroud the castle in darkness. That was the tale we agreed to. And the good king was always meant to reseat his throne. So many times was he saved, while never truly in danger. Now, true danger grips us all.
I see.
Please, save the king.
So, Vengeance wants us to save the king. Very well. Now, let's have a quick peek at the compendium. So, in the Warlock Wilds, we've got a bunch of stuff that we've restored, but we haven't yet found where the Crown of the Undone is restored. Or the Lost One Visage. So, the Zone Boss had a hovel. So maybe we need to go back to the village and have a look around there. And then we don't appear to have anything, from the look of it, that is restored in this castle. But yeah, where corpses were dumped, there was a tally kept. I mean, that looks like a place where corpses are dumped. Also, there's a beacon down there, so that's a good sign. So we should grab that before anything else happens. But yeah, I feel like this is not going to be a place where we're going to restore anything because it's outside of the Warlock Wilds, so it's not going to be the place that the crown needs restoring, I feel. No, it's not. Good. But we can do some leveling while we're here. Our weapon now levels up from strength, so we definitely want strength up some more, probably. Do we need equip load up more? It's going to take a while before our equip load could get high enough to affect our rolls. So I think it might just be strength and stamina that we need more than anything else. So, let's just have a quick poke around. But I don't think we're done in the wilds yet. But we will have a quick poke over here, just to see what's what. Not much of anything is the answer. Implements of torture and doom. So the way forward would be down there. But where is our tether set? Yeah, we're okay warping back here because we can use a fireplace stone if we need to get further in. So we've got a lost one. We've got a hovel to look for a start. And we've got a place where corpses are dumped and tallied. I'm pretty sure in that big staging area as well, where we kept going through Sacrifice 3, there would have been other routes that we could have taken. At some point we need to go back to Warshaft as well, because we've got another Easy Maker's key. But I also think there's other stuff going on in Warshaft that we'll need to worry about sooner rather than later. But for now, let's head back down here. Who's following us? Just you? Good. Right, did we ever go up this way? I feel like we probably should have done because it's left, so it's the first route. Yeah, that leads to Lost Ones Village. So should we be checking each and every one of these huts for things that we can remember, or should we just be heading back up to the top floor? Because that's where the king would be, right? Or the leader, whoever it was. Yeah, feels like it would make sense to start at the top end. Then we've got this little sad lad. Down he goes. Right, so it's looking like it's not around any of these huts. The hovel that we might be after. Oh! Cheeky get. Didn't even see you coming. Son of a gun. Yeah, tents aren't really hovels, so it's fair enough that they wouldn't be the place we're after. So let's try going back down this log and take the other log, because I'm not sure if we've ever been through this way before. Impossible to navigate. Watch out for item, then keep going. Pixels ahead. Well, that's promising. There's some pixels. So I guess we could follow these. Are there any more? Oh yeah. Rushing ahead. I mean, we don't really need to rush, do we? Drive right. Oh yeah, you're right. Very good. Now there's an item. So we'll grab that. A runed receptive hinge. That is a rune item of some sort. Increases the amount of access you can hold. Fair enough. Where are we being led? By these will-o'-the-wisp-esque lights. Being led to a mushroom. But maybe we're supposed to go up that slope. This looks a bit like a hovel. No, is that the item? Yeah, that's the item I was trying to get to earlier. Good.
Oh, clever, clever. Found his hovel, have you? I assure you, the previous inhabitant will not be returning. I know what you are, nameless thing. Before heroes were a class, it was a simpler time. When the first heroes were defined, the legacy of shared origins was honored in their deeds. But they have forgotten what they are, what they were, and what does that leave a dying world to do?
I don't know. Are you going to explain?
All is being forgotten. Nothing is new. Can you grasp how you exemplify this riddle? You're not the only miracle. There's another. A thing I've not seen for cycles. A new NPC has spawned in Nostalgaia. An innocent. If you would be my friend, bring them this trinket. It shan't hurt them.
So everyone wants me to gift something to the innocent. A dried gourd. Smells fresh. And this is apparently a maiden crone that I'm talking to. Also, whilst we got a sec, is this not the hovel? The zone boss used to live here, I guess. So I guess this isn't. Otherwise we'd be able to remember the
Bring my
icon.
gift to the innocent one. They are a miracle, and they're not safe. I will appreciate it. Bring my gift. They
Right,
are
okay, she sounds more trustworthy than Reservoir of Pain. So maybe, just maybe, we'll help her out. Now, what have we got there? A little waterfall of some sort. So we don't have to go back through that place we've just been, by the look of it. I mean, she said this was a hovel, and this says the zone boss gave where his directive from his hovel. So you would think that this is the spot where you remember that item. Yeah, well, what we've got up the slope anyway. Is that the former boss? Am I now in the right area? Ah, no, this is the Crown of the Undone, though. The murders my NPC were tallied where his corpses were dumped. There is a tally up there, so yeah, that makes sense. She sought asylum, the burden of knowledge she amassed each cycle. The memories persisted like a New Game Plus nightmare. My NPC took her in when she fled from Festivity Row. Playing the part of a powerful warlock, he taught her what he knew of Source. But each cycle he would reset and she would linger. With her growing power came a clairvoyance. She came to see my master as a lie, just another part of the facade. Longing for a world she could not predict, she began to murder my NPC at the start of each cycle. His powers as his own boss were no match for the glitch she was mastering. So who was it was mastering the glitch? It was Eve, wasn't it? I believe was mentioned. So maybe that's the maiden crone that we were speaking to? Curious. Either way, I can't help but feel this should also be the spot, or somewhere around here should be the spot that the Lost One headgear is located in. But, I guess not. There was another item. Oh, is that another hovel, actually? Maybe. Maybe this is the spot. No. Very well, but it's another item. It's the memory of an NPC zone boss. Aha! And in here, maybe we finally found it. There we go. Every zone had a story, a conflict, and a purpose. After a hero had cleansed the mines, the grateful villagers implored them to rescue their children before continuing on to save the monarch. The NPCs at Warmy played the role of kids that had been corrupted beyond redemption. In the quest we facilitated encouraged heroes to ponder the value of innocence and potential. Yeah, even heroes need to think of the children. And so... Aha, that's leading back up there then. Yeah, Is there anything under this slope? No. And there's nothing behind that waterfall. Come on now, it's a waterfall. Why do games keep doing this to me? I want treasure behind every waterfall in every game. But yeah, we've now got 2 different things that we could give to the innocent. The new NPC who's spawned. And I'm pretty certain I know who they are. So you can go down. Now, which way was it back to that staging area? Where we had like half a dozen different routes. It was down here, wasn't it? We had a way to Orshaft. And then we had a way to NPC City. This led to that glitched area where it seems that something's broken. But then I'm also curious as to what that is. Because I've seen a couple of walls that look like that around the place. There's one near where the area where you could get to just after the grinder boss. And there might also have been one in NPC City. And then if we came up here, we had Sacrifice 3, which we explored. And this leads to Village. Oh, and that connects up, yeah, to that staging area that you can get to in the hovel. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take a stroll back down the Orshaft Village route, because we've got an easy make a key for the merchant. And I'm pretty sure the innocent is someone that we spoke to down there earlier as well. Let's just do a quick check. How many fragments of tradition have we got now? 3. Not enough to level up our big bonker again. But that's fine. So this was the dog room. Yep. And then a whole lot of growling happening. Yeah, whatevs. You don't mean a whole lot to me anymore, little chumps. That said, I'm going to use a heal, just because, yeah. And then, which is the quickest way to anywhere? Okay, that actually put us in a good spot. Let's just check. So that lift is, that gate's open, that leads to the beacon. We still haven't got this gate open. Is that something that's going to come much later? Probably. But yeah, this room up here. You there.
You look like someone who's changed. Wow! Is that a present? I've never had a present.
No, you haven't, because you're new and innocent. So we're going to give him the Maiden Crone's Gourd, because sod the Reservoir of Pain.
Pungent.
Oh, okay, there he goes. Was that a good move that we did? I feel like if there's a good move in this situation, it is helping the Maiden. If there's a bad move, it's certainly the bloody Reservoir. Now let's make our way over to our merchant friend. So, how best to do that quickly? Should we speak to the Reservoir? See if he's got anything to say about our antics. Get another rebuff in here and there where we can. Now.
You've doomed that innocent to agony!
Good.
You're just like the Great Ones, dragging this world through torment for your own selfish whims.
Oh, you sad. You a sad little Reservoir of Pain. Good. Maybe I can cheer you up. There we go, he's happy again.
Who are you?
It's us again, friend.
Give me pardon, my hero. The pipe layer's own kin, his very blood, once defied him. That betrayer was exiled to the sunken bowels of Nostalgaia, where we too hid. There he rallied us, trained us. He could not bring himself to harm his fallen brother, you see, any more than I might willfully harm you. But he trusted that the tradition of our world would spawn someone who could. Rumors swirled that before our teacher's despair, he gave his blessing to one who was never worthy to carry it. But 'twas only a rumor.
That might mean something later.
The pipe layers that there he could, but
Doesn't
he
really seem
rumored,
to
but
at this point in time, but
What?
that's fine.
Of course. An easy maker crate. Shall we open?
Something sus about this guy now. Seems to be losing his memory
The
or
pipe that
something
he
of that
but
nature. But either way, he's now got new goodies for sale. Let's have a look. 40 fragments of tradition. Well, if we buy one, then that will help us out down the line. The butterfly knife doesn't need to be restored, so we won't worry about that. What have we got down here? The Devourer of Strife. We will grab that for sure. The Crash of Thunder. And then we've got some more code. And then a rune-focused bottle. Reduces the rate at which you take recursion damage. Yeah, we will buy that too, I think, once we've used a bit more of our memory icons. Now, what's our status in terms of insight bonuses? 33. Increased equip load. Ooh, very nice. At 40. So we'll definitely have to remember that hammer at some point soon. But now what? Do we press on now through the castle? Do we speak to the crone again? We probably speak to the crone again first. So let's see. If we can make our way to a beacon, then we should be able to just walk back to the wilds and get back to it pretty quickly. Although just before I walked, I did notice that it said we had 2 items that could be remembered in Orshaf village. So let's see. Doesn't look as though we've got any. Oh, I got the Forgotten Space armor set though. Oh, that's a Dead Space reference, isn't it? Yeah. So we should probably go back to the depths at some point and get that. This lad doesn't want to give up the chase. Yeah, they're not quite fast enough to cause us any hassle. Until we run into a wall. Dagnammit. But now the chase begins anew. Where are we going? We're out here. How long are you going to follow me for, my friend? Now, what would be the quick way through this area? Just following the lit up path, I guess, but that leads us into the path of that skeleton and all of these other skeletons. It's skeletons everywhere. But then we can sneak down here into this staging area. Does that help us? We might have to stand our ground at some point with all these enemies. Although, no, they seem to have lost interest. At least some of them. Certainly sounds like some of them are still interested. Yes. Nope, there they go. Right, so is this way going to take us back to the gravestone? Yeah, it is. Right, do you have anything to say for yourself? Crone friend?
Please do not touch those! Oops! Almighty, save me!
Why,
Right, sounds like she's having a grand time with our innocent friend.
Oh, Hero.
Golly, is this a real hovel?
My clairvoyance is distracted.
I like your ritual symbols, madam.
Thank you immeasurably for what you've done. Its importance exceeds your understanding.
Certainly does.
Doors can talk. Wow!
Take this token of my acknowledgement, Hero,
Ooh.
and find the truth.
So, what have we just acquired? Marking yourself with these runes decreases your stagger from being hit with projectiles.
Remember, thing who is ancient, thing who is new. Forgetting is not our only danger. There is potential even in the decay of our world. You, for example. Fidelity is nothing without potential.
The hero is my friend. I have a friend!
You sure do, buddy.
Hello, door.
Yeah, the door's probably your friend as well.
Hello, door.
So yeah, he can say hello to Door, and we will say goodbye for now, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, friends.